As all of you know, the new Star Wars The Force Awakens hits AMC Theatres on December 18th. The question is, how big of an opening will it have? According to new reports from analysts, the new Star Wars film could break the worldwide opening weekend box office record. The current record is held by the final Harry Potter movie, which made $483 million on its opening weekend worldwide, and now analysts are suggesting that the new Star Wars could exceed $500 million. They also suggest that if Star Wars is really good, it could cross the $2 billion mark before it finishes its run. John, what do you think about these predictions?
Okay, so here's the thing. Keep in mind, too, we're talking about worldwide opening box office. A lot will depend on opening days, how many theaters it opens, how many markets it opens in at the same time. So a lot of people will ask us, when you guys talk about opening weekend box office numbers, why do you only talk about domestic? Because a lot of movies, the majority of movies, don't open everywhere at the same time. So if one movie opens in 48 countries on its opening weekend and one movie opens in 7 countries in its opening weekend, then you're comparing apples to oranges, so we only focus on the domestic numbers. So now we're talking about worldwide. Here's the thing. I have been saying sensibly for the longest time now that what will be the biggest box office hit of 2015? And clearly it's going to be Avengers Age of Ultron. From everything that I saw up to that point, I mean, that's just what the facts point to. However, if you are going to be open-minded and objective, if new information comes along, you got to take it and you got to reevaluate where you're at. I saw the new Star Wars trailer. We're not going to go all into the new Star Wars trailer again, but I am going to say this. I know what that trailer made me feel. Something that the first trailer did not make me feel, and something that I have not felt. And even I have given up hope of feeling again in a very, very.
You mean you have a new hope?
I felt it a long time. That trailer changed something in me on a spiritual level. It changed something. And then you see the reaction that it got around the world. Look, I've been saying forever that Avengers 2 is going to make the most money this year. But just because you think something's based on one set of information, if new information comes along, you've got to be willing to reevaluate your position. I'm reevaluating my position. I'm not going to say that Star Wars is going to be the new, is going to win the box office at this point. Not yet. But I am ceasing insisting that Avengers 2 will. Just because of what we saw. It's going to be interesting to see what comes along. That opening weekend number, I think that's attainable. Remember, opening weekend doesn't mean everything. Avatar, for heaven's sakes, which made $2.8 billion worldwide, it only made $77 million on its opening weekend. Only $77 million. But it's not like it made Avengers number of $200 million, right? So we'll see how that goes. That opening weekend number is not as important as that final number. I still don't think Star Wars, I agree with the analysts. I think if it's really, really good, it'll cross that 2 billion mark. I don't think it'll catch Avatar at 2.8 billion, but you never know at this point. But everything that the analysts are saying, I'm sure the people at Disney are very happy, but it all depends on that one quotation phrase that was in that report. If it's really good. Star Wars is going to have a great opening weekend no matter what, but we got to see if it's any good that's going to make people want to go back and tell other people to go out and check it out, people who might be on the fence. Look, all things look really good, but JJ did make Super 8, and Super 8 was not a good film. He made the Star Trek movies, which were really great. He made that Mission Impossible film, which he did a magnificent job on. He's got a great track record on television. I have a lot of faith in J.J. Abrams, but it's not a perfect track record, so I'm not jumping up and down. But you got to step back and say, man, it's possible. Anyway, Schnepp, what do you think?
Yeah, I think just that quote, Chewie, we're home, like resonated with so many people for a lot of reasons, because we grew up watching Star Wars. And then a lot of kids grew up watching the new set of prequels that a lot of us didn't like as much. But this felt like the perfect synthesis. So if they can ride that wave of like doing a really great Star Wars movie that satisfies us and all the new people, that's more than $2 billion. And it feels like just from seeing the little, what do you call it? The teaser
trailer 2.
Yeah, the teaser trailer 2 and the first teaser, they had all those elements that really wreck you emotionally because they played that John Williams music. It had the flavor of Star Wars, but with all these new elements that you wanted. You want new elements in this new universe that is 30 years later, yet it's got Han Solo, it's got Luke, it's got Princess Leia, and it's probably got Darth Vader. Who knows? I mean, it seems to me like after seeing that trailer, I would agree with you that it has the chance to beat any film coming out this year. as long as it's good.
The quick side. Somebody sent me this great graphic today of the classic Darth Vader from Return of the Jedi and the melted helmet that you see in the new trailer, and underneath it just says meth. Anyway, Christian.
Well, what I can say to you is, welcome to the light side. Welcome to the light side. Yeah, and look, I've been saying the Star Wars, as far as a movie, was going to be the biggest movie of the year. And in complete honesty, it's not just because I'm a diehard fan. It really isn't. It's just because it seems to make sense, and it absolutely is going as far as the mega numbers. If it's really good, that's what's going to count. Because don't forget that this trailer, in all forms, whether it be iTunes or YouTube or whatever, it has. Pablo Hidalgo came out and said that within 24 hours, 88 million views within all the platforms. Wow. 88 million. That means that what you were feeling, what I was feeling, that many people were feeling that. And you don't get that for movies often. I think Alicia said it the other day on the show. Avengers is going to be huge. Avengers might still have the biggest opening weekend of the summer. I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm just talking about domestic here. But it's also because of where it places as well, too. And I think December might push back the opening weekend numbers for Star Wars. But because, and I've said this a million times, for the fact that it is in December and it's going to have no competition in December, no competition in January, and no competition in February, if it is a beast in quality, you're going to keep going back. You know we're going to see it 10, 15 times
at least.
And in regards,
I saw Phantom Menace 18 times in theaters.
Exactly.
That sucked.
And we're going to be going. And the fact, and you have, and in regards to your comment, John, with J.J. Abrams, I agree. I didn't love Super 8 also. But what J.J. didn't have, he didn't have the team of Lucasfilm. He didn't have, like, listening to those guys on the stage, and not even just JJ, Kathleen Kennedy, and that panel, but when you, Kiri Hart and Pablo Hidalgo and Leland Chee and all those guys, they have such a vision. Remember when Lucas was running it, when if they had suggestions and Lucas was like, no, I don't want to do that. They were, okay, that was it. They're all running it together. It's a collective collaboration over there now. The story knows what they're doing. JJ trusts in the story team, and there's so much greatness going on. It's the first time it's all run by fans. They're all hardcore fans. They're bringing in people that are fans. So I think if they play it this way, and it seems the stuff that I saw, and the energy in that panel on a Thursday morning from the fans and texts, I'm crying. Guy next to me crying. Women crying. Everyone was crying because you get that feel. Like John said, it's Star Wars again. And I think that we're going back to greatness here. I really do.